Hi there. So if you're like me and you have an algae culture, you're probably wondering how to improve it somewhat. Now I have my spirulina culture there, and that's actually my updated spirulina culture, and I've been running it for about a month or so now. However, there are a couple of cheap and easy ways I think I could improve it. And if this applies to you, this could help you as well. Now, why would I want to improve my spirulina culture? What are the sort of problems that I'm facing that require a solution? Well, there are two main ones. Let's take a look. The first thing I would like to improve with this culture is my agitation solution. Currently what I'm using is a small air pump that's supposedly for an aquarium, and I have that connected to a hose that connects to a little tiny wider hose that I've used it to connect to a couple of acrylic tubes joined by a check valve, and that works just fine for smaller cultures that don't have a large bottom surface area. However, when you get to larger bottom surface sizes, such as this container here, having this acrylic tube that just bubbles in one small area soon becomes inadequate. Even when I have this on, what is happening is some of the culture gets agitated and you still see a vibrant green colour, but as you can see at the bottom there, a lot of the algae is actually, well, that's a little bit of active algae there that's floated to the top, but on most of the algae that's being generated, or being grown rather, is just sinking to the bottom and it isn't being agitated enough. Well, it can't be agitated enough by this by the small hole of the acrylic tube that's just generating bubbles in a small area. A solution to this I've come up with is this 3D print that I designed in FreeCAD and printed out in about 6 hours or so. Basically what this is it's a little adapter that converts small bubbles, in theory, to larger bubbles. And the way it works is I would put the acrylic tube, I would insert it into this hole, and air pressure would build up inside this large cavity here, and what you would end up with is larger, less frequent bubbles would be emitted from this cavity. And what this would result in is a greater force agitating the algae, so it circulates around the culture a bit more, at least in theory. Let's test it out. So I've got the lid off of my algae culture and I have my acrylic tube here. I'm just going to insert this onto there. It's a nice tight fit. I made sure of that with the power of using calipers. And now we just pop it back in and see how she runs. As you can see, what's happening now is it's kind of less constantly bubbling, and now it's more sort of bellowing. So you still have some small bubbles escaping, but what you have now is a larger bubble is creating a ripple every few seconds, and what that's doing is it's agitating the algae a bit better than previously. But there's still one problem with this culture that makes it very inefficient. And it might surprise you, but it's quite simple actually. The reason why this agriculture is very inefficient is because of the fact that I can see it. Now yes, a lot of the light from my LEDs is going directly into the algae culture and aiding its growth. However, a lot of the light is just beaming out to everywhere else as well. A solution to this is some good old-fashioned foil. Now I'm going to get back to you when I've wrapped this around my culture. There we go, didn't need too much. As you can see, I did a bit of a bodge job of it. It's in no way perfect, but that should mean that a lot more of the light that's coming out of them LEDs should bounce back right back into the culture there, and some of the heat should as well, and that would actually aid the growth. The ideal temperature for spirulina is about in between 20 and 30 C, and this will aid in helping get close to and maintaining that sort of temperature as well. Now if you want to do this, you want the reflective side facing inwards in order to get the most efficiency out of this method. So there you go, there's a couple of cheap and simple ways to improve an artificially lit small algae culture. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope I've inspired you to create an algae culture of your own perhaps, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye for now.